Welcome. Welcome to my channel. We are going to be cooking something called beer biscuits today. An old family recipe. Um, First and foremost, I'm going to go over everything you need. First of all, you need an oven. Uh, the oven's off screen right now, but you have to set it to 425. Second, you need a muffin pan. Not a muffin man, a muffin pan. Thirdly, you need Pam. What you're going to do, you're going to take this lovely, lovely pan. You're going to fill all the holes generously. And there you go. Pan bondi's done. All right. Now, wash your hand with cloth of some kind. Next, you're going to need a mixing bowl. You need 2 forks and a spoon. You're going to need a measuring bowl. And you're going to need sugar. You're going to need Pioneer baking mix. We prefer the red one in our house, but the blue one works just as fine if you don't want to use buttermilk. And a 12-ounce can of beer of your choice. Fairly simple. First, you put 4 cups of lovely, lovely baking powder the into the measuring cup of your choosing. 4 cups. We're going. Okay. A little bit short. I'm a little bit short of that 4 cup bowl. But that happens. Boom. You can keep those skills. All right. Do not try this at home, kids. So I'm going to use sharp knife. Open bag, like so. Do not do as I do. Try to use kitchen knife when possible. All right, that's exactly 4 cups. Take your bowl, pour it in the bowl. Now, it says 4 tablespoons. Now, a small spoon that you use at a table will work, or you can use the exact measurement from a measuring spoon. Does not matter. Either way, you get the same result. Package this dough into a gallon bag for this baking mix into a plastic bag for future proofing. Now, you want to pull this out And fortunately or unfortunately, I'm going to try and get this to the best of my ability on screen, yet you may not see my face. Alright. One, two, three, four. Next, you open the can of beer. And you pour it all around the door, my friend. I'm not good, but when I am good, I make it good. Next, you remember those two forks I told you about earlier, right? Right? These little guys? Yeah. You are going to use one to stir the beer into it. Technically, if depending on how good you stir, you may only have to use one fork, depending on how proficient you are. This is only my third time making beer biscuits, so I'm still getting the hang of it. Technically, you may or may not only need one or two forks. I usually use two forks just to, make it a little easier to stir. But this time I was able to do it with just one. Um, but yeah, you technically need 1 to 2 forks, um, depending on your proficiency in the kitchen. You can use a whisk. Would not recommend it because it makes it more difficult. All right, now for the most important aspect of this prep. Sorry, I don't usually cough. It's sinus season in Texas. Sometimes you have to go with what you can deal with. And because I'm just making this for me and my father, who never gets sick, I'm not really worried about it. Little cough never hurt. My father and I never really ever get sick, so I'm not really worried about it. If you were to cook it like a restaurant, you have to be more kitchen safe, kitchen friendly. I don't know. Food safe. That's right. Food safety comes first in a kitchen setting. Something which I can be good at. I'm just at home. I don't worry about it. All right. So that spoon that I told you about earlier. We're going to use that. And if you use both forks, you can use both forks. If you used only one, you use the one fork. You take a small scoop, toss it in to the pan, if you can see that. And you're trying to make, this batch makes about 12. You want them to be about even once they get onto the pan, if possible. They don't absolutely have to be even, but you try to get them as even as possible because you don't want anybody to feel cheated because of their biscuits, okay? called beer biscuits. You don't want anybody to feel cheated. You try to do the best you can with what you got. So what you do, just shimmy that in there. 18 to 22, 19 to 22 minutes. I usually I usually cook them for 18 minutes or set a timer for 18 minutes. And that gives me at least 2 minutes to get from upstairs to downstairs when I'm baking to get the food taken care of. Now, do I like making beer biscuits? It depends on the mood I'm in. Um, do I prefer beer biscuits over standard biscuits? Yes. Um, Again, it's a family recipe, and I prefer, using family recipes if possible, at least if they taste good. Um, I prefer family recipes over non-family recipes. Um, and then I will more than likely grill some postal kielbasa sausage to go with, or some Jimmy Dean sausage to go with. Haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. Um, this is my this is going to be breakfast for the next couple of days because mom and dad are diabetic, so technically, most of this will be eaten by me probably within the next few days. Um, do I like making this meal? Yes. I don't drink alcohol, so for me to use beer in a constructive way where I don't have to drink it like in the Navy is a big positive. Big positive. Did I like drinking in the Navy? No, I still did not drink alcohol in the Navy. I like cooking with alcohol. Um, I like fixing food. Um, there are so many other practical applications for the use of alcohol that you don't technically need alcohol to make food. But this is the pan, um, and then once it goes in the oven, well, my screenshot will be these completed. You're not going to see them in the video because generally they're already done. I just have to put them in the oven once the oven's preheated, and it's at 414 to 425. And again, 19 to 22 minutes for baking. And then you just do the dishes and, simple stuff. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. This is your host, Lego Brett, 86, or Joker's Wild, signing out. Bye!